Race, access, and gender are all factors of the digital divide. It is true that men have more access than women to the internet. It is true that white males use the internet for educational purposes compared to blacks and Latinos. It is true that women are fleeing science, technology, engineering, and math jobs, otherwise known as STEM jobs. And it is true that impoverished areas don't have as much access to broadband as do richer areas. According to Campos Castillo 2015, gender and racial divides are improving, but are still very much in existence. There has been an increase of internet use among all races and genders, but access is still very much a major issue. 1/3 of the population has been left behind in the US. The rich has much better access to broadband than do the poor. According to the Department of Commerce, 4 in 10 households whose incomes are $25,000 a year reported to have a broadband connection. However, 9 in 10 households, 93%, whose income was $100,000 a year reported to have a broadband connection. The problem is that a company like Comcast, who supplies most of the nation's broadband connections, wants to keep striving. They're a business after all, and like a business, they will go where the demand for the product is. As previously mentioned, the demand for broadband is predominantly high-income areas, and the business will go to where their product is used and neglect the low-income areas where their product isn't used as much. Comcast has grown so large that they are not only a supplier of broadband, but they also control content. An example of this is the Comcast-MSNBC merger. Essentially, Comcast supplies the broadband and is able to control the content of the broadband as well. This creates an even greater divide. In the past, electricity was seen as a luxury, much like how people now see the internet. However, electricity is now considered a necessity to survive. In today's modern society, the internet is needed to apply for a job. You need the internet to receive an adequate education. You need the internet to start a business. You need the internet to even apply for government assistance. Compared to other countries, Americans are far behind when it comes to internet speed and cost. You might not have known it, but you yourself are an actual victim of the digital divide on an international scale. For example, hardline connections in Seoul, South Korea average at $30 a month, and you have 3 choices of different fibers to use. There are so many internet suppliers that all the companies compete for speed and access. For the same service in Manhattan, New York, it is about $200 for a similar service, and you don't have the options of the different fibers to use. Choi 2011 provides a chart demonstrating the broadband subscribers in the world. Korea has always been significantly ahead compared to America and even other countries around the earth. In conclusion, America should start using Korea as an example to conquer the divide. Choi and Park 2013 found in Korea that 5% more male internet users than female users have logged on to the Korean Central e-government websites in 2010, and that these male users spend about 1.5 as much more time on the websites compared to women. The main primary reason Choi and Park discovered was because women taking care of their children prevents them from accessing the internet more often than men. That's it. But in America, women don't access the internet as much as men because of access constraints. Also, on broadband and speed, Choi's 2013 research concluded that competition and companies with government assistance and investments would develop faster speeds of internet and make internet connection more available. In view of the fact that internet availability and use are above average compared to the rest of the world, we should use Korea as a model.